Good afternoon and welcome to Pre-Calculus. We are starting out today's lesson just introducing what we will be doing in this class. This seems a little bit odd because I'm not there to be teaching with you, so you may have to bear with me as we go through this PowerPoint to introduce how we're going to run this class, what we're going to do in this class, and why Pre-Calculus might be interesting to study. So let's go ahead and get started. Our first question is, what exactly is pre-calculus? Well, rather than actually answering that, I'm trying to help you see why would we need another step like this in mathematics. So let's go back to what you are in math. Do you remember way back in kindergarten first learning your numbers, where you just had to count the dots and write the number, and then you were adding and being able to still count the dots, write the numbers, and write the answers? This was so easy. Do you guys remember that time? Yeah, but life didn't stay that way. Math doesn't seem to stay put on. It wasn't too long before we were adding and subtracting, learning about fractions, multiplying and dividing. And this kind of stuff really, it seemed difficult when we learned it, but now that you're this far in high school, you look back at that and you say, man, that was easy. Things continued. We went into decimals, and decimals were another step in stuff. And then our area, when we learned multiplication, we learned area, and all of a sudden we stopped thinking two-dimensionally and we went into 3 dimensions. Each step of this mathematics progression was important to understand and to use math in new ways. And to be honest, each one of these, from the fractions and the decimals you use in your everyday life, area and volume, are very useful in many ways. So as algebra goes on, you start getting things like quadratic equations. And then here we have a quartic equation, and now we can actually learn to divide synthetically. See if you guys can remember that from Algebra 2. We use synthetic division to help us find the roots of this equation. Now, we will be using some of this kind of material in calculus. All of this is very important background material. But pre-calculus is opening a brand new door. It's a doorway into a part of math that you haven't seen before, kind of like that same doorway from regular numbers to fractions and decimals, that doorway where the letters appeared in math and changed everything, when exponents appeared in math and changed everything again. Pre-calculus will change everything, and it's a new way to look at math. You are looking for bigger concepts, more important All the other math that you've been doing is kind of like this kiddie roller coaster. It just goes in a circle and there's a hill. Now for little kids, they find this extremely exciting. They can sit in the car and spin the wheel and feel like they're driving and everything. But at a certain point, you grow to a point that this is not fun anymore. And you may look back at this other math and it's easy, it's simple. But that's because you've already mastered that part. Calculus is the bridge as you get to real roller coasters, doing real flips and twists and turns that you don't expect. This is the bridge, the step to a new world. As we take this step, you may be surprised to learn that a lot of the things that you do know, a lot of the rules that you do know may be broken. For example, you know 2 times 3 is 6. And you also know 3 times 2 is 6. Well, we will be working in a space in mathematics where that is not true, where 2 times 3 is not 3 times 2. That commutative property doesn't exist in one of the spaces that we will be looking at in math during this class. Are you ready? Are you ready to open a whole new world? A world of mathematics that you haven't seen before. To change what you know of math. Because this is the direction that pre-calculus will start taking you. So enough of the big generalizations of, oh, I love calculus kind of math stuff. We've got to talk about how we're going to run this class. I mean, right now I am sitting in my office at school and I am simply talking to a computer. And I am talking probably 4 or 5 days before you will ever hear this video. So this is going to have to be a different kind of class that we're running. I mean, it's not going to be the same as everything else. So let's take a look at what we're facing here. First off, we will be using Google Classroom. You should have gotten an email from me by now that will give you this class code so that you can get into my pre-calculus class. In this pre-calculus class, you will find what we are doing each week. I will have uploaded a schedule so that you can see my ideas of what we are doing throughout the rest of this semester and the first half of next semester. It may be complicated to start out with, and you may have to bear with me because I'm not used to running things this far away either. But Google Classroom will be our organizing place for a lot of these things. The next thing is the videos, like what you're watching now. I will have links to them on Google Classroom. I'm hoping to stay a week ahead of you. I can't guarantee that though. So Google Classroom will have the links to the different videos uploaded to YouTube. And you can click on the link for each lesson, and this will allow you to go somewhat at your own pace. I do have the schedule to make sure that we are staying somewhat together as we go through this course. But the YouTube videos should be available, and like I said, I will try to stay a week ahead of time. Now your homework is going to be online. This will be very useful for you in the long run because I may not be there to grade, to correct things as you're asking questions, as you're doing the work. So you will watch the video, but then you can go to this. Alex is an online learning system, and as you can see in this corner up here, you can see an Alex Pie. There I have gone and I have created all of the topics that we will be studying, and this will be another place where it will tell you how you're supposed to solve a problem, and it will teach you step by step how to solve that problem and lets you learn how to do it. This is also where you will find the homework. So if you click these 3 bars in the upper left hand corner, it will open this screen. From here, home is what you're seeing now. Learn is where you can go to learn the next topic. As you can see for me, my next topic would be Introduction of the Product Rule of Exponents. This would continue my path, okay? And you can see to finish chapter 0, I have to do 69 topics. Topics are not very long. They're simply a specific kind of problem. All right, review would let me choose what topics in this chapter I found complicated, and I can go and retry them to make sure I know how to do them. This is very useful for studying before a test because they will change the problems on you each time. So this would give you not an infinite number of problems, but probably 10 or 12 very similar problems, and this would help you make sure you know how to study. Where we are going to go is assignments. Now, because it's not the 14th yet, the assignments are not active, so I'm going to show you them on the calendar. I will open the assignments for an entire chapter each time that we complete a chapter, so all the homework will be open and it can be at your pace to complete the homework assignments. I suggest using the learning system if you didn't fully understand the video and then doing the assignments. You do have unlimited chances to do the homework, and so that shouldn't be a big deal, but be sure you know how to solve them, because in the same system will be where I give you most of your tests. Now, under calendar, this is where you can see when the homeworks are due and when they're opening. So opening the calendar here, I can see on the 14th I'm going to have homework assignments start being available. Now, if I had gone to week, you could see which homeworks were there. And by the end of chapter 0, we should be finishing by the 23rd, so all the homeworks are due then. Now, I am doing this for you guys so that you have the option to work slower or faster as you would like. However, if I see a bunch of people by the 22nd not finishing the homework, then I'm going to have to rethink this, because I do need you guys to work consistently throughout the week and a half here to do the work. In general, I will try to close assignments on Wednesday because I can meet with you on Tuesday and then I can answer questions if something is just absolutely really not clear. Quizzes. Quizzes are another thing that we will be doing mainly through the ALEX program. There may be some paper quizzes. In fact, I already know there will be a couple paper quizzes that will be given. These ones I will make and send there to the school. They will be printed, and after you've taken them, they will be scanned in and sent back to me for grading. They should be returned that week or within a week of when it's taken. But in general, your quizzes will be through ALEX. The day that you have a quiz, there's no unannounced quizzes, so you will know when you have a quiz. The day you have a quiz, a new assignment will open, and it will only open for that day. To get into the quiz, there will be a code that you need. I will be giving this code to the school so that they can give it to you when it's time for you to get in and do your quiz. The same will be true for tests. There will always be a code, and for the tests that you will take through ALEX. Because you are taking them through ALEX, it is vitally important that you understand how to enter the answers the way that ALEX wants them. Now, I can go in and look at them and perhaps give you a point or a half a point if your answer was correct but entered wrong. Often, though, you have had the chance to know how they want the problem, the format. So you do need to learn that format, see what they're asking, read the problem. All right. But yes, some tests will be paper, some tests will be through ALEX. Now, on Tuesdays, every Tuesday during class time, I will have a Zoom meeting for you. In general, though, I have included another assignment with the Zoom meeting. This is because I do expect that you can do some either at home or outside of class time. I'm not sure how the Zoom meetings will go, but this will give you a chance to store up your questions from the week, things that you didn't understand, couldn't figure out, so that you can ask me and we can work through some problems together. Now, to help this not explode with questions, help each other. The three of you can sit there and work together on homework. That's the other reason I chose to work with Alex, because this program will give the three of you a similar problem, but each one of you will have different numbers. And this makes it so that you can work through the problems together and still have to do your own work. The Zoom meetings are for me to help you understand. I'm not going to be able to help with every question every time, but this is a way that we can connect. And if you're not getting something, I can try and explain it through our Zoom meeting. I will be able to write it on our computer screens and work through the problem on the computer with you. Due dates. Due dates, as I mentioned earlier, will probably be Wednesdays. Now, there will be some that are a little later or a little earlier, but I'm trying to make things due Wednesday so that you have 24 hours at least after you have met with me about questions. So, how do I see a day going for you guys? Well, you guys will be in your classroom. I'm not sure where you are meeting yet, but the school will have a place for you to meet where you can use your computers. And I expect that you're going to have to go into Google Classroom and watch the video on the next lesson. Now, if you're understanding the lesson without the video, that's fine. It is up to you to choose to watch the video. You have a lot more freedom in this class. You can watch the video, not watch the video. You can work through the lesson, not work through the lesson. But know that watching the video can help you understand things, make you think about things a little differently. Doing the learning pie in Alex will help you because it may cover a kind of problem I was unable to cover in the video. Now, each video, I'm hoping to start with a lesson, question, definition, problem, theorem, or something like that. Something that makes it seem, okay, how are we going to do this? And I'm going to walk you through the lesson, walk you through that kind of problem, walk you through what does this definition or theorem mean? And there'll be 1 to 2 examples at least, possibly, probably more. As time goes on, there will be fewer examples because the examples will get longer. So I may work 1 matrix problem where I may work 10 set problems. These are all examples of things that we will be touching, and yes, we will be doing matrices, and yes, there may be augmented matrices. So then you would have your chance to do online work. Do a couple of topics. I would suggest go to your Learning Pie, work through a couple of the Learning Pie problems, because your goal is to finish the Learning Pie before the test as well. And then do the lessons homework. The homework should not be more than 10 questions. Some will be less, and as time goes on, if it's things like the matrices, it will be less. So do a couple topics, complete the lessons homework. This is pretty much what I see for a day. If you complete this faster than the class, this class will allow you to go faster. If you complete the pie, so if you went and completed all the topics for Chapter 0, I have it set up so that the moment you complete all the topics for Chapter 0, Chapter 1 will open for you. And that means if you choose to, you could go and complete all of the chapters before I've even made videos for them. These are your choices. Now, I can't guarantee that I'll have all the tests ready for you. But if something like that does happen, you can let me know and I can open the homework earlier for you and you can start working through a different chapter's homework early. So, some words of wisdom as we go into this class. First, read the book. For those of you who have been in my classroom, you know that I think you need to be able to understand how to get the information from a book. This is even more important without me there. Yes, you have a learning system that will try to explain it to you. It will give you examples. Work through the examples step by step. I will make videos that can help you. But now you are at a point where you need to be able to open the book, look at an example, figure out what they did in each step, and try to think about why they did it. Reading the book will give you another set of examples for the ALEX problems that you will have. It will become important. And as you get to college, even in mathematics, learning to read the book is important and helpful. Although more and more classes are not assigning books because nobody reads the book anyway. Use other resources. There are more resources than just me on the internet. Yes, I'm saying use the internet. Use Khan Academy. If you're not understanding how to solve a certain kind of problem, see if you can find another video that will help explain it. Google search the problem. I can guarantee you every single problem I'm going to give you is out there on Google. This is the reason for don't just find an answer, but understand why. Just having an answer might help you with that particular problem. You could take every single problem I give you and Google search them. But then when it comes to a quiz, when it comes to the tests, you will not know how to work the problem. Also, don't trick yourself to thinking that just because you were looking at the problem and copying down every step, you know how to do it. If you're going to use an example online, look at the example. Carefully look at it. Ask yourself why they did each step. What step was confusing you that you couldn't do it on your own? Then close it up, turn it away, and attempt the problem on your own without looking back. You're after a way of thinking, not copying a problem. This is why I can say every single problem I'm going to give you is online. I don't want you to just give me answers. If I needed the answers to the problems, I could go online and find them. The point is to have you be able to think through this kind of problem. The thought process is so much more important to this kind of study than anything else. Getting the correct answer is not even as useful as getting the right way to think. And just to throw a little cartoon in here and remind you of what kinds of things I did on Pi Day and stuff, here's a cartoon for you. What part of the limit as h goes to 0 of sine a plus h minus sine a all over h equals cosine a? Don't you understand? Now I will warn you, this limit, we'll be touching limits. This kind of fraction, we'll be touching that. What you're looking at is the far side, the end of pre-calculus and the beginning of calculus. Work consistently. Don't procrastinate. The assignments on the syllabus are closer than they appear. Those due dates are coming faster than what you think they would. So don't procrastinate. Don't just think that, oh, I found something very interesting on the internet, so I'm going to go and do something else, is going to help you. In fact, the task I must undertake is towering over me like a great big monolith. It is too big to contemplate. So I think I will go and have a little look at the internet. Don't do this. You will find that this class will become very difficult if you find yourself distracted by what else is on the computer in front of you. Work with me. Work on this stuff. Spend the time, because math does require time. Just like anything else you want to be good at, you must put the time in. Next, I will be using a calculator in this class. I am not there to help you figure out how to make your calculator do what my calculator is doing. This is the calculator I will be using in my videos. If you want to be able to use your calculator the same way I am using my calculator, then you should get this calculator. You can look online on your particular calculator and find out what you can do to make it work. But this is the calculator I recommend. Next, ask early for help. Please ask early for help when you start crying just because you don't understand math. Now I can tell you, if you get this angry at math, you're not alone. People here, even where I am, my classmates, have gotten this angry at math. People in math graduate school, first semester, taking classes, have been looking up what other majors, what other professions can I go into, what other areas of study can I get my master's or doctorate in because I hate this one class. I'm warning you, ask early for help. Don't let it overcome you because it can and it will. And if you're not willing to fight with it, to catch it before it catches you, then math will. Watch how you're thinking. This is where the problems start. Wondering all of this, when you're telling yourself you can't do this, I can guarantee you that you won't be able to do it. Your mind is that strong. So watch what you're telling yourself as you're working through these problems. Are you telling yourself that you can learn this, that you can get it, that even though it's a struggle, you can still do it? No pain, no gain kind of thing. Yes, you may walk away from math with a headache. This is actually a normal process of strengthening your mind. Yes, I still get math headaches. This is what you can expect some of the time. Not all of the time, but some of the time. But watch what you're telling yourself. And remember to encourage yourself and each other, because I know you guys can do this class. Next, getting ahead. Now you know and I know that this class will go over Thanksgiving and Christmas and break and everything else. I understand this because I'm on my fall break right now making videos. So, getting ahead is something that I am hoping to allow you guys to do. In the schedule I've created, the only weekday that I have given you off is Christmas Day. This is not ideal for you, and it's not ideal for me, and it means a lot more videos that I have to make for days that I don't give you break. So, I'm hoping to get ahead in the videos so that you guys can work at your pace. I will not go a pace that not everybody can handle. But if you choose to work ahead so that you can have more breaks during Thanksgiving or Christmas, then do it. And I will encourage you to do that, even though it means more work for me because I've got to get the videos done before you get there. But I am trying to set this class up so that you can finish at your pace. Now, what you need to do today, this is our last slide, so know that we are almost done. What I'm expecting you to do today, you need to finish this video. Pretty much you're almost there. You've already made it through 28, almost 29 minutes. Make sure that you can log into Google Classroom. Find that email I emailed you so that you can log in and find our class. Log into Alex, this program that you need to do. Okay? Your information should also be in that email from me. Now, Alex, when you first log in, will give you an initial knowledge check. You are free to make mistakes on this knowledge check. You can skip it if you want to. What it is doing is the system is trying to find what you remember from before. So, if you remember how to add fractions, it may give you a problem like that, and if you add them correctly, then it won't make you have to do that as a lesson. And then make sure you have the things that you need for this class. Things like if you want to get the calculator I have, that you have paper and pencil, that when you're in the next video, you can write down what I write so that you know exactly what examples I worked without having to watch the video 5 times. etc. Okay? That is what I expect from you today. Plans this week. You can see what I have planned for this week. Monday the 14th, today, you have the introduction to the class. Tuesday, tomorrow, I will be meeting you with a Zoom meeting, but you also will have lesson 1 that you can start. It will be a shorter video. Can't guarantee how short it will be, but a video. And Wednesday, you will have a lesson with a homework. Thursday, Friday, you can see this. We're starting in the review chapter. So this is the end of our video. And I hope that this can somewhat be clear. I will be around to answer any questions you have on how this will go on starting tomorrow. And we can meet every Tuesday during class time. Other than that, God bless and enjoy this first day of pre-calculus.